Hello and welcome to episode 40 of series 4 of Master League Story Mode. Now I've just about recovered from the excitement of that last day, last match, last few minutes qualification to the Europa League for Clermont. For what a season it was under Corinne Diacre. There she is there, embracing Jan Caramo, and I'm liking Jan Caramo's approach here. He says, we've achieved our minimum target for this year, I'm looking forward to next year. That's exciting to see a young player so fired up to achieve even more than we achieved last season, which was an incredible amount. So of course the big question is, will Corinne Diacre be staying at Clermont until next season? This is a journeywoman series, as you know. Well, we'll maybe be finding out in this episode. If any big offers come in, we might even put in a sneaky offer to another side. Let's go and look at her manager offers so far. Obviously Clermont have come back in, as you'd expect, and Bordeaux have come in with a bid. We actually finished above Bordeaux, so I'm not too interested about that, but we were fairly far off that top three. And I would like for Corinne to continue managing in Liga. I think that would make sense. It's more realistic. I don't think she would take a move abroad. But let's not forget the meteoric rise of Corinne Diacre in the last 2 seasons. Promoting a side from Ligue 2 that probably no one really expected to see move up. And then getting them into the Europa League the next season. It's incredible. So I think there definitely would be some big sides having a look around. And I think a move to Monaco would be an excellent choice. Try and push PSG off the top. And some great young players in there for her to work with. She's proven that she's a very, very good developer of young talent. So I'm going to put in a cheeky transfer request there, see how that goes. We've got, I think, until June 30th to see what happens there. But until then, or until, we have to make a decision on her future, obviously we're going to continue to build this side. And hopefully the Fat Controller, who didn't seem to be too bothered that we'd got into the Europa League, he just said cheers. Hopefully he's got some money that we can play with. But for now, we need to take a look at the negotiations and see where we are. And I think a good place to start will be just making sure that all of our contracts are in order. Let's start at the top. Jan Caramo, when does his contract expire? In August? Well, we don't want to allow that to happen, so we'll go for a renewal on him. Passetto's an interesting one. I mean, we've got a £12 million bid tabled from Vitesse at the moment. I don't see him having a future in the side. Maybe he's a squad player, but he's just disappointed consistently. I don't know what it is. He's got the stats. The stats are all there. He's a decent passer. He's quick enough. Good strength on the ball, but it's just not worked. It's just not worked. So I'm not going to offer him a new contract. Actually, we better do. We don't want to lose him on a free. Next August for Encham as well. We've got plenty of time for Ivy. Ruben Duarte. I'm not 100% sure on Ruben Duarte. I think left back might be an area we look at. Definitely want to offer the Bernardon a new contract. He's been excellent. Let's not forget he's only 22 years old. And he's a rising star as well. So I think he's only going to get better. Doucouré's got a nice long contract. Wellington Nem. Well, I mean, he's not getting any younger. But we want to keep him on board. He was excellent. Potentially player of the season. We'll come to that in a minute. Big Zags. Absolutely got to keep him in the side. It's still only 73 rated. He's not maybe progressed as we would like. I mean, he is... let's not forget he's only how old? He's only 20 years old still. He's definitely... progressing, developing above his expected progress, so that's good. Did have that early dramatic improvement, but maybe I would like to have seen a little bit more. Koyalapu, the deadly finisher who scored the goal to seal Europa League for us. He's still got fairly long left on his contract. El Sibiadi, will keep him in. Again, right back, probably an area we want to look at. Saavedra, we do love him. We do love him. We've got to keep him at the side, really. We'll leave that, I think, for now. Gouffran, we're going to get rid of him probably. And then Lopi and Janine, they're all hanging on. These 4 here, just riding on the coattails of this excellent season, picking up their wages, doing bugger all. Maybe we can get rid of some of them as well. So back into the scouts, and as the transfer rules dictate, we're able to send them out to a new area this season. The patrons voted on this one just a few days ago, and they had the choice between the Netherlands or England. So looking in the Premier League and the Championship, and narrowly the Premier League was chosen. So that should be interesting. We'll send the scouts out straight away. But before we do, I've just remembered that we do have Emre Mor as a possibility. The 22-year-old winger from Celta Vigo, young Turkish talent. Definitely would be worth a look. What we really need to do this season, I want to try and not change the first 11 too much, but I think a winger is definitely an area that we do need to improve on. He's got that raw speed that we wanted, an excellent dribbler, very similar player to Wellington Nem. He's lacking a bit in passing and finishing. But definitely one worth putting in a bid for, I think. So let's get into it. So we are going to be looking for a right winger still. Could be a left winger as well. and we're going to be looking in England, exciting, and we're going to be looking for still developing. That's always my preference. It means that generally we're going to be able to get someone under 77, which is very important at the moment because we still don't have a player over 77. We hope that might have happened by now, but it hasn't. So we have also obviously been looking for a Ferrobory replacement. We do need another striker, there's no doubt about that. Koalapu and Karamo were excellent, but we didn't have anything off the bench to offer really. So yeah, I think a centre forward, and then again we'll look for a nice young centre forward talent, as we love to do. And then finally, I think it will be a right back we look for. I'll be interested to hear your comments on where we should be scouting, who we should be scouting for. But a young right back as cover for Alcibiade, who was basically our only right back last season. I think that would be a good start. So yeah, interesting to see what will happen here. We do have a bid in for Emre Moore already, so we're already starting to make moves. I think it'd be a good signing. So with all of that out of the way, let's progress some time. Let's get moving to the final team of the month for Liga. And it's the young guns up front. That duo who are so exciting, so thrilling in the second half of the season. Rightly appreciated by the press. So Zagadou, just as we spoke about, is maybe not progressing as we'd like. He's up to 74. That's good to see. We do really need someone to get to 78. So interesting. A few club offers have come in. Let's see who has Corinne Diacre. Tempted. Oh my god, we've been offered the Spurs job. Wow. Wow. That is a cat amongst the pigeons. And that's a very, very interesting one. We've got until the 30th of June to respond. That's massive. I was not expecting a team of that calibre to come in. Certainly not expecting a team from outside of France, but they've obviously seen the potential in Corinne Diacre. And looking to replace Pochettino, who's obviously not been doing it for them. They didn't finish that highly, I don't think, in the Premier League last season, so that's going to be hard to turn down. Imagine that. The career progression for Corinne. Absolutely insane. We're still yet to hear back from Monaco, but that is a cat amongst the pigeons. But for now, until June 30th, or just before, we've got to continue as if we were staying. Because it's going to be the patrons who vote on this one. And just a reminder, if you want to be able to vote on this massive decision, it could well be, should we go to Spurs? It could be, should we go to Monaco? Should we stay at Clermont next season? Then all you need to do is donate $1 or more. So that's about 80p, or, I don't know, what is it in euros? 80 euro cents? It's probably about the same. A month. So just imagine if you knew me, you'd be like, oh, cheers for the videos, mate. Here's a coffee. Not even a coffee. Here's a chocolate bar each month. One chocolate bar each month. And it might not seem like much, but if another 25 of you all donated $1, not only would that be great, and I would really appreciate it, but we would also hit that first Patreon goal where I'd be adding 2 live streams per month to this channel. We're at $75 at the moment. We want to push it to $100. That's the goal. When we get there, you get 2 extra live streams a month, which will be a lot of fun. So there's 2 good reasons. But I think the main reason is you will want to vote on this decision. You don't want to sit by idly and watch this decision be made by someone else, by the other patrons, when you could have influenced it. So yeah, if you want to help make the decision as to where Corinne's career goes, then you know what to do. Link is in the description. Get on it. But anyway, let's keep moving. As we said, we are still the Clermont foot manager. Let's keep going. So a lot to look at here. Emre Moore's transfer negotiations have gone well. I think he'd be a good addition. Bernardoni, Alcibiade, Neman and Cham's contract negotiations have gone smoothly. Passetto's have broken down. Not too fussed about that. He's probably going to be going anyway. But Jan Karamo's have broken down, which is slightly concerning, being as there are teams in for him. But it doesn't actually expire till next August, so we're not that concerned. Probably have another stab at that. Yeah, I'm sure he wants quite a bit of money. He's probably playing hardball, considering how well he's done last season. I'm not too bothered about that. Unfortunately, transfer negotiations with Monaco have broken down. We could potentially go back in for that one. I think if we were given the choice between Monaco and Spurs, probably would go for Monaco. We've also got the chance to add our favourite player. It's going to be an interesting one. I think I know who I'm going to choose. And some scouts have bought some stuff back. So let's go and have a look at all of this. A lot to get through here. So first off, let's have a look at the contract negotiations. Caramo's have broken down, but the sports director is pretty confident if we make another offer, we might be able to get something done. So we'll go back in for him. Still not too concerned. I think we can make that happen. Passetto, I'm not even going to look. Incham wants a lot of money. An extra 500,000 onto the salary budget. That's quite a lot. He wants a release fee. Oh shit. Oh, Olivier, we don't want to give you a release fee. We've been burnt by that before. We certainly don't want to be burnt by it now. Is this negotiable at all? It's a no. It's a 0 chance of... Oh, that's awful. Well, we've got to go for the biggest release fee we can get, 18.4 million. We'll give him a longer... I mean, a longer contract might make it a bit easier. He doesn't want any less money. That's a shame. He wants a goal bonus. Oh, you can have a goal bonus. You don't really score that many. Oh, these release fees are going to be the bane of our lives. 18 million for Encham. I think that would probably be a fair price for him at the moment, but it'd be horrible to have to let him go when it wasn't our decision. Oh, Bernardoni wants a release fee as well. Why are all these young players? Why do they want to cover their backs? I don't believe it. Let's take another look at this then. Oh, dearie me. Negotiable. Oh, could be negotiable. It's interesting. Give him a 4-year contract. Yeah, we'll just pump this up. We don't want to lose the Bernardon. I know a lot of you aren't the biggest fan of him, but I want to keep him on board. I think he's a good young keeper. Wellington Nem. He wants a release fee as well. What is this? Is the Players Union giving them some bad advice? They must be. 10 million release fee on Wellington Nem. That is just ridiculous. I mean, obviously he's not going to get much better. That looks like it's non-negotiable. Oh, dearie me. Well, we'll have to make it as big as we can. Oh, we'll have to go with that then. Fine. Oh, dearie me. And Alcibiade. Well, that's much better. He wants an extra 85,000 on his salary and he doesn't want a release fee. Welcome back. You can have that contract, Alcibiade, just by being the only one not making it difficult for us. So a reminder, we do have a bid from Huracan, which is Passetto's old side, actually, for 15 million. We also have 12 million available from Passetto. Let's take a look at how much Emre Moore could cost us. 11 million, 1.2 million salary. That's a big salary for the young player. I think we'll keep that as an option. Don't know if there's anything we can do. I mean, I don't think we're going to get much off the salary. We could get 1 million or so off, but we won't risk that for now. We'll just keep him there as an option. We're going to have to say goodbye to Gonzalo Malero as well. And I think Johan Gouffrin's going to go, actually. We need to put him on the transfer list. He's not already there. He's not already there, so we definitely want to put him on the transfer list. I mean, he didn't really have a chance, but I think the key thing for us to do in this off-season is to get a solid bench. I don't think we want to mess with the first team too much. There's a lot of good young players in there who are going to improve. There's a couple in there that maybe we could switch out. Definitely that right wing we're going to want to improve. But other than that, we want to keep the team spirit high and have good options on the bench, which is what we lacked last season. Let's take a look here at the right wingers that they've come back with. Looks like it's only the one. It's Oliver Burke. I mean, he would have been excellent. He's exactly the player that we wanted. Absolute raw pace and power. But he's 79 overall rated. So we're not going to be able to sign him. We'll put him on the list. If somehow one of our players, I guess Caramo, goes up 2 over the summer, it's unlikely. Quick look at the centre forwards. Anything of worth in here? Bonatini, the Wolves striker. He is a good striker, actually. He's pretty tall. Not really for me, though. Actually, how old is he? I know Shogun is a big fan of him. Shogun FC. Actually, just a good shout out there. If you haven't watched Shogun FC's channel, another excellent PES channel, then go and take a look at that. It's one of my recommended channels on my page, so go and take a look. Definitely worth a watch. He had a great time with Bonatini in his last Master League, so I'm sure he'd like us to sign him. Iorfa from Ipswich, 24-year-old right back. He's pacey, but his passing is poor. That's not the best start, really, for the Scouts. Not too excited by any of them. But we do obviously have a lot of players in our list, so we'll go back and have a look in here, see if there's anyone that we want to revisit. Do we need another left back? Obviously, Robertson would be a good shout. Good, strong player at left back. I think a lot of these, we probably need to wait until the transfer window opens. I think we'll have more of a chance of signing them then. So we'll just keep moving, I think. Oh no, actually, hang on. We need to select a favourite player. Now, Jan Caramo's contract rebellion makes me slightly wary. I think it would have been a no-brainer to go for Big Jan. Obviously, we've been burnt before with Honorat. It was the last player we chose, and we know how that went. The only other option, I think, would be Big Zags. Maybe Decore. No, we've got to go for Jan. I think we've got to back the fact that he will be here. And probably our best chance of getting someone up to 78 or 79 in this window. So hopefully that'll help. And here he is, Jan Caramo, our young talent. I don't know why Inter let him go to us, to be fair. That was an odd choice. And he certainly proved that he was worth the fairly substantial transfer fee. But he scored plenty of goals to make up for that. So I think it was definitely worth it. So we've had a bid for Gouffran, excellent, and Fontaine. We can hopefully ship him out as well. And once again, the only player in our entire squad who's been called up is Janine. It's weird. I think we're probably due another one soon. Oh my god! The rumours are true. There was a Saudi billionaire sniffing around Clermont Foot. It was widely reported in Le Monde and various other French news outlets. I didn't want to believe it. I daren't believe it was true. But the Fat Controller is now Sheikh Fat Controller. And wow, he has injected some serious transfer budget. 92 million euros into the coffers. We're going to need multiple war chests to hold that. And that changes the complexion of everything. We could go to Spurs and have Daniel Levy penny pinching. Or we can stay here and have 100 million euros to play with. And almost 10 million salary budget. That's insanity. Oh, the big money is in. We now have the potential to rival PSG and Monaco and all of those clubs with those big budgets. Oh my god, we can totally... I mean, talk about building a new bench. We can... Wow, this is... I mean, the possibilities now are endless. This is incredible. I mean, I think what we can do now is go and have a look at the game plan and just maybe strategise as to what areas we need to improve. Right wing, we absolutely need a better player there. Passetto and Ivy Lopez, neither of them really cut the mustard. We still want pace there. I think that's one of the key things. Wellington Nem, do we see him as a long-term attacking midfielder? I think he's got another season in him. He was excellent for us. He's a good passer. He's not even that quick. And his ball control isn't that great, but the strength on the ball is also a key one for him. I don't know. Doolin is also another area where maybe we look to replace with something a bit better. Just because he's not getting any better. I mean, he's still only 26 years old. And what he does very well. But I think we can have someone a little bit more dynamic there alongside Olivier and Cham. Decore and Zagadou, I'm happy with that. Bernardoni, absolutely happy with that as well. Duarte, well, Robertson's an option. Andy Robertson. And then Alcibiade, I mean, he was excellent towards the end of the season. It would be a shame to see him go. He's got the attributes you need. Maybe his defensive side isn't good enough. But his passing and his speed, explosive power, it's all excellent. I think what we need is just more options off the bench. We need another right winger on the bench. We need another centre forward. We need another central midfielder. Who'd be a better who would be happy to bring in, basically. So I think if we can sign 5 really good players, 1 Passetto replacement to start there, 2 probably starts ahead of Doolin, maybe a left back, maybe a right back if we find anything really interesting. So that's 3, and then 2 or 3 bench players as replacements, one of which being a centre forward. I think that would probably cover us. But you know, as we are now, we're 93 team spirit, and we don't want to lower that much. Because, you know, if we get off to a bad start, then we're not going to be getting to those Champions League spots. We need to start strongly. And starting with a low team spirit because of lots of signings could be our downfall. We need to be very careful of that. So it is a bit weird to be making multiple transfer requests for a manager. It doesn't sit well with me because it's not something that they do, is it? You get approached, I'm sure. But we do want to just ask Monaco, are they sure they're not interested in our services? I think it's worth doing. So our club ranking has been updated. That should have shot up, surely. So we have qualified for the Europa League, as we know. We need a stronger squad just in the fact we're going to have so many more games this season. How many of those new transfers need to be going into the starting lineup? I don't know at this stage. I just feel like we don't want to mess with that too much. So the contract renewals seem to be going quite well. Caramo and Cham, Nem and Bernardoni have all accepted now. I'm sure Caramo's going to have a fucking release clause. Anyway, St Etienne and Sao Paulo have come in and offered Corinne the manager jobs. I don't think that's going to be quite as attractive as Spurs, but maybe she wants to go to Brazil. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. So let's take a quick look at Jan Caramo's. What does he want? Yep, he wants a release fee. Of course he does. And he wants 2.6 million salary. I mean, we've got the money now. Obviously, we do. Especially if we get rid of Passetto or Ivy Lopez. I mean, we don't even need to get rid of them now. We've got 100 million. Insanity. Is it non-negotiable? It's non-negotiable. Push it up to 18 million. Time down for a 3-year contract. We'll give him a goal bonus. Just get that up to 85. That should do the trick. So not a lot we can really do about these release fees. I mean, our hands are tied. And Cham has accepted that, so we'll go in with that 18 million. You know, we could have big sides now come in and basically sign the whole side, sign the whole team if they wanted. So they might. So Bernardoni, luckily he doesn't want a release fee. He wants a little bit of extra money. I think we'll be happy to give him that. And Wellington M, as we know, also has a release fee. Oh, it's such a shame. But we'll renew those contracts. Keep them happy at least. And hope that no one comes in and buys them. That's all we can hope for, really. So now that our club ranking has increased, a lot of these chances of signing for our listed players have gone up by quite a bit. Quite a few here we can't sign. Boga just out of reach again. He's definitely one we were interested in. Robertson, as we said, left back. I mean, he's good. He's not that much better than Duarte. I'm not sure about him. Jonathan Cafu, well, he's a winger that we did look at signing. It looks like we could still sign him now. I don't think he was actually playing much at Guingamp. I know when we played them he didn't start. Still like him. He's still got that pace. He's still actually a pretty decent crosser. It's hard to find people with 85 plus speed, explosive power and strength on ball who can actually cross. So definitely one to consider. We'll put in a bid for him. Now Sio, this would be interesting. We are looking for a replacement, a backup striker. And at 30 years old, he's not a long-term option, but he is so powerful. And he's a great finisher as well. He was a pain to play against. Definitely one to consider. And in terms of target men that we were looking at, well, we would like another target man. And Crivelli from Angers was an excellent option. Always thought 80 header, 83 physical contact. He's got a pretty decent jump, 76 finishing. I think he'd be good. He's not quick, but he's got good heading and fighting spirit as well. I think he's definitely one to consider. Now Masonda from Chelsea would be excellent. We're still not at 78 yet. We don't have the option to sign him. Tempted to put in a pre-bid now, as he is at 1 out of 5 chance of signing, which we haven't had yet. Right, we'll use 1 on him. I think we will put a bid in for CEO actually. I think he would be an excellent backup striker for us. So there we go. We've got out there doing some business. We might not find out about them before the end of the episode, but that's a little flavour of some of the players we could be looking at if we stay at Clermont. But by the time the next episode comes around, that may not be the case. But only you can help decide that if you become a patron. That's all I'll say. The last time I'll say it, but you could have a say. That's all I'm saying. We're saying a lot. And obviously if we do stay, we can also take a really close look through the advanced search. A lot of French players. We could look for a DMF. I think a Doulin replacement would be good. I think we've pretty much looked at all the strikers and wingers that we have a chance of signing at 77 rating or lower. But yeah, we could definitely have a look at the defensive midfielder. I'm sure there are some in there. So let's keep moving. We're nearly done here because we're almost at the 30th of June. Oh, we're already having trouble scouting new players. That's disappointing. That's really disappointing. So the end of the season is upon us, which means we have to make a decision about which club we're going to be managing in the next season. Wow. This is absolutely key. Oh, and there's another 17 million. And another 5 million on the salary budget. That's insane. That is insane. Absolutely ridiculous. Before we keep going, I just want to get a feel for if we didn't have the transfer restrictions. What sort of caliber player could we be signing now? What's the highest? Oh, we could sign we probably could sign Lacazette by the looks of it. We definitely got the cash for that. I don't know how much it would cost. 31 million, isn't it? Got a release fee. Who else could we be signing? Insigne. Oh, Sama Dembele from Barcelona. What? That's ridiculous. He's got a 19 million release fee as well. We could sign him quite comfortably. But yeah, we can't do this because that's why we have the rules. Otherwise, it would be insane. Straight away, we could be signing all of these great players. Even though we've had a good season, there's no way all of these top players would be coming to us. Although, maybe with the money that we've got, we could probably prize away some of the slightly less loyal ones, I would say. But, you know, it's not going to be. We can't do this. So there we have it. It's going to be an incredible next episode. Oh my god, I'm excited to find out what we're going to do. We have the choice. Do we stay as the manager of Clermont Foot, or do we take a move to the Premier League already to Tottenham Hotspur? Let's just take a look actually at how they did last season. They finished 5th. Yeah, no wonder. No wonder they're looking for a new manager. That's disappointing. Outside of the Champions League spots. They want to get back in there, and they've seen how good Corinne Diacre has done, and they know changes want to be made. Who have they got in the side? Oh, well, they seem to have sold Harry Kane. They've got Vincent Janssen up front. They don't seem to have made any great signings. Still got Dele Alli. Still got Son. They've signed Mark Noble. They've made some odd signings. I think we'd have to do quite a lot of trimming here. But, you know, we could sign any player up to 86. I've never been in a position in Master League Story Mode where we could sign a player of that quality. Another maybe issue would be is that to implement Corinne Diacre's formation, they would take a big hit in team spirit. And we would have to, and this is an absolutely definitely would have to bring in Corinne Diacre's favoured formation, which we saw this season, and as you can see, it's very different to the one they're playing now. So that would take a big hit. A big hit. We'd have to bring in a lot of players, because I'm sure I wouldn't be happy with a lot of these players, and we would have to change the formation significantly. Oh, they signed on Nautovic. That's an awful signing. Or Nautovic and Sissoko on either side. That's awful. We'd have to do some serious work here. So, yeah, it would be difficult. We would start at a massive disadvantage, I'm sure. And their style of play is very different as well, and we'd have to change all of that. That's something to consider for the patrons, and unfortunately, bit of bad news is I won't be releasing any videos next week. Potentially the next video that will go up will be on Sunday. So we've got a whole week to wait, but that does mean there's a whole week for you to become a patron and vote on this decision. Should Corinne Diacre stay at the now very, very rich Clermont foot with their new owner who's invested €100 million in this club, or should we take the move to Tottenham and try and rebuild them, get them back into the Champions League spots? But that is going to be a rebuilding job, no doubt about it. We're going to have to start from the bottom, knock that entire team down. Either one's going to be interesting, to be fair. I don't particularly have a preference. I would enjoy both, I'm sure. Part of me really would find it hard to leave some of these Clermont players, but a lot of them we can take with us. Let's not forget. And but another part of me is very scared of the what could happen at Tottenham. I mean, I'm sure the owners would give us a pretty high target for the season. And with the team spirit knock that we would inevitably take at the beginning, it won't be easy. It won't be easy. So as I said, you've got a whole week to join up and become a patron. And remember, only $1 a month is needed for you to make the vote on this decision. The biggest decision in Master League Story Mode history. So have a great week. I apologise for no videos. And I'll see you in a bit.